Come on. We are live. We are live. This is episode 249 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast, coming to you live from the Hank Strange Media Studios. There's Sam from Forge from Freedom doing the jazz hands. Come on, Sam. Let's see it again. There you go. Jazz hands. Jazz hands for me. I hope you guys have your big girl panties on. Episode 249. And the title of the episode is The 3D Printed Elephant in the Room. For me, I hope you guys have your big girl. Getting some feedback from me. 49, and the title of the episode. Yeah, if you've got another window open, you probably have to mute that.
I just did. Yeah. I apologize for that.
Yeah. So the title.
Print elephant in the room.
Yeah. So so first of all, I've got to make my titles like that because you can obviously get videos deleted and get strikes just based on your title. So And then they sent me a warning letter about context. So context is very important according to YouTube.
What was this thing about context?
Oh, well, they said that, that we just barely fell outside. So when we recently got one of the videos deleted and we got a strike and then they suspended us from being able to go live, they reversed all of that and they said you guys just barely fell outside of our requirements, and that you need to put your videos in context. So I guess they want me to properly title and put descriptions explaining what's going on and all that kind of stuff. So yeah,
but that's not grounds for that isn't grounds for strikes though, right?
I don't honestly clearly know what the grounds for strikes are. I know they do have terms of service. We looked at it. We didn't violate that. What they were talking about, the video in question before, we were talking about the news. We were talking about some news, some potential new rules that the ATF wanted to put out there. And we just had a discussion. We didn't show anything that they consider contraband and all of that kind of stuff. But, it's difficult to get over these things. That's why I fight it every time something comes up. So, same thing here. I will explain what the 3D elephant here is in the room. If none of you people if you guys haven't figured it out, we all know that nowadays in the modern world, you can pretty much print a lot of things 3D. So we're going to discuss someone who, and I think you should be able to print things 3D. And we're going to discuss someone that's been, how can we say, he's been a proponent of things being printed three-dimensionally. But apparently he's coming under some charges. So we're going to discuss that. It's in the news. So for context, anyone from YouTube looking at this for context, we are talking about the news.
Yeah, we are quoting the news. Okay? We're not making it up.
We are giving opinions in our own unique, funny, and fun way with a little bit of conservatism and belief in the Constitution and freedom mixed in, right, Sam?
Slow down with the freaking strike button.
Yes, go easy on us.
Go easy. Trigger happy.
Yes, so we're going to talk about that, and there's a couple of other things going on. I know my headset's kind of funny. I'm just going to put it. See, I got my haircut, so.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man.
Yeah, it's Wednesdays here. Wednesdays are haircut day around here.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if let me give the folks the pro. There you go. There you go. Check that out. All right, now I'm gonna mess it up by putting this on. Messed up now. I hate these headphones just for that reason. Just messed up my frohawk.
I think I bought the same ones a couple of days ago. Are they Sony's?
Yeah, Sony's. Yeah, the Sony's are the best headsets, by the way.
Yeah. Apparently, not to go off on a tangent, but I found out that this model here, they've been making it for like over 25 years.
Yes, those are the best.
It is so successful that it's the exact same design, same headphones from like over 25 years ago.
Yes, that's all I use. I don't use Beats. I don't use any other thing. I use these. I think it's MD 7076 or something like that.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. 7506.
7506. Yes. Now these used to be, by the way, really expensive. Like I think $150.
Yeah, right. They're like 79 now, 80.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen them in some places for like 40, less than $50.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So I usually, if I see them really cheap, I actually buy one and hide it somewhere. Like I had one that was been in a box for 2 years, and Lola complains every time she sees it because she, complains about it. If I wake up in the morning, she complains about it. So Yeah, I finally actually took that out of the box, and she found me like with this thing out of the box, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to buy another one to be in the box now, unopened. You know, if we get the apocalypse or this company goes out of business, I don't know what I'm gonna do for headset. I'm not planning on buying Beats.
Yeah, no, man. I think Beats are just like it's like 85% name and 15% quality. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yes. So let's go shout out everyone. For everyone that's joining us, please hit the thumbs ups. Okay, we appreciate that. Smash those thumbs up. Take the thumbs out of wherever you got them. Show them first. You can do a sniff test if you want to when you take your thumbs out. You know, I understand. Sometimes you got to do that. It's nature. And then do this. Do the thumbs ups and share this video. We appreciate it. What do you got there?
Smash it with my gun.
Oh, smashing your thumbs. Okay. Don't actually smash your thumbs. Don't take us literally. So let me go in here and shout out everyone in the chat real quick. So E-Rock, Special K, Ridge Runner, Christopher Williams, Richard Hughes. Richard Hughes says he got a YouTube strike. Don't understand the particulars of what's going on there. But sorry to hear that. Fight it. Fight everything. I don't know if Richard is monetized, not monetized, what's going on. I know he recently got to 1,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. So congratulations.
Well, it's congratulations, but what I would say is don't be disappointed if you got to wait for about 6 months to get monetized.
Yeah, it took me a long time to get it. Over 6 probably.
Yeah, they kept changing the date on me. Like they changed the date on me like 4 times. And it took like almost 7 months for me to get monetized.
So you finally got monetized?
Well, yeah, like a couple of months ago. But
oh, cool.
We're talking that they started the process like November last year.
Yeah, this is how they get down. By the way, Forge from Freedom on YouTube. You guys need to go over there and subscribe to that as well.
Yeah, because I'm going to start making videos again.
Okay.
I haven't done a video in a long time because I was pissed off at YouTube. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. YouTube is very nice and very kind.
The opinions expressed by Sam from Forge of Freedom are
Yeah.
not necessarily the opinions of Hank Strange.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I agree with you. It's fine. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, but I'll be back to making a few videos and stuff. I'm gonna bring some guests on and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Oh, cool. Okay.
Have fun with the channel, you know.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So you guys should go subscribe to that. I'm sure you'll have like some cool giveaways and sales and
yeah, we'll do all kinds of
codes. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So everyone out there, subscribe to Forge from Freedom. Let's see. Let me keep running through this real quick, and we're going to talk about some other Forge from Freedom stuff as well, right? When we get into this.
Yeah, sure.
Conversation here.
Yeah, I think let's cover the news and then we'll.
Then we'll do that. Okay. So you got to stay here. You got to hit the thumbs ups. Let's see who else we have. Boss Hog is here. The Archangel is here as well. Vanessa Kitty. Chris Bullis. Let's see who else we got. SoCal Gunner says, "What's up, my strange familiar?" Let's see who else. Lewis 1911 G42 says, "Tactical gun vest. Anyone rock a 42 for your AR backup?" Okay. Bruce Ludman. Message retracted. Don't know what's going on there. Let's see who else we have in here. Something went down with that. Big Dick Willie. That is the person's name.
What's his name?
Big Dick Willie.
Oh yeah, Big Dick Willie. Yeah.
Big Dick Willie. Yeah.
Yeah. He was in the chat the last time. I thought.
Yeah. Big Dick Willie. That's just a name. We're just saying.
Yeah.
Because it's his name. That's the only reason why we're saying Big Dick Willie. At all. Greg 98K also in here. Imposter Rabbit 0317 as well. Let's see who else we got. The Tyven Show. Tyven Show says, hey, everyone. Tango Hunter says there was an active shooter about an hour west of me today in Wisconsin. Curious to see the details on that one. Yeah, we'll have to pull that up in the news. I think I saw something about that. I think there were actually at least 2 active shooter scenarios going down across the country today. Crackbot says, hi, guys. He's in here. And then Bruce Ludeman wants to know, is there a way I can change my name in here? So if you guys know how to change the name, you can go ahead and do that. By the way, names like Big Dick Willie, we like those kind of names. So you can be, if you've got some body part that's humongous sized and you want to brag about that on your name, it's cool. That's all right. Right, Sam? We'll have Sam announce it when you
Absolutely.
when you change it.
That Archangel here saying, waiting for Big and Tall series. What's the Big and Tall series?
Big and Tall series? Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure what that is. We'll have to find out. He'll have to tell us what that is. What? What was that? Okay, I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Moobud is here. Simpson Road Larry says hello, everyone. I think Special K. Can't remember if I said that before. Let's see who else. Opt out of gun control. I shoot my AK naked. Says pew pew bang bang. Shout out to him. The Armsman says good evening, Strangerholics, Hanksters. Jerry Woodman's here as well. Shout out to Jerry Woodman. We've got Brian Quick, Richard Portella, DCG 44s, Rob Avis, Psycho 316. He says, hey, all, just hopped on real quick before I got to get ready for work. Got an email basically begging me to work Jennifer Lopez tonight. Okay. Nice. I hope that's real. I know Jennifer Lopez is probably not like a favorite for gun guys, but I still got love for Jenny from the block. There you go.
Yeah, you gotta have love for Jenny from the block. I mean, you can't alienate every single person that doesn't agree with you on the 2A stance.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not gonna melt down my guns for Jenny from the block.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's another way of looking at it. That's a very good way of looking at it. But it's like you can't alienate everybody. If I was going to do that, I wouldn't talk to half of my family.
Yeah, and I'm a married dude for sure. I'm happily married, but if I like all happily married guys, we fantasize about our get out of jail free card. I might run that get out of jail free card for Jenny from the block. Yeah. What can I say?
Yeah, Jenny's cool.
Yeah, I run it. Will Lola honor it? Different story. Who knows? I think I think if your wife tells you about the get out of jail free card, that is a trap.
Definitely. Most definitely a trap. Do not fall for that shit.
Yeah, don't ever actually do it. No dudes out there. You can joke around. That's the line. Don't go, I actually had to use my get out, because that's the end of you right there.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
will not recover from that. Never admit to anything.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like me and my wife have this agreement, and we've had it pretty much since day one. And it's like, look, but you cannot touch.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Okay, let's see. Let me go through here and see who else we got. Peter Machuco also in here. Shout out to Peter Machuco. Charles Halshith as well. Flopping Garbage in here. Awesome. See? Flopping Garbage, man. Rocking the names. Let's see who else. I think Kathleen Music Lover as well. The Pants. RP Venture in as well. Let's see who we got. Who else we got? KS Harris. And just trying. RTS Guy. Mr. Bullshitter. Candido Torres. There you go. And I think that's pretty much. Oh, Leonidas of Spartan says, yo, Watchdog. Randy Peacock. So there we go. I think we hit it. Clint Sanders, Calico Jack. There's just more and more people coming in. Rafael Morales. Shout out to everyone that's in here. Shout out to all you guys. Thanks for joining us. Jimway Jam, all those people. Great to have you in here. Don't forget to hit the thumbs ups as we get this all warmed up. And Lola says, did I hear Hank give me a get out of jail? No. Dudes don't issue get out of jail free cards to their wives.
Yeah.
So, no. If you see any wife walking around with a get out of jail free card, that is counterfeit. Does not exist.
That shit is made up.
Yeah, I declare all of those null and void. There's no such thing on that side of it. Yeah. I'm not even going to play that game. because Lola will just take that get out of jail free card and go to a copying machine and just make a lot of copies. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so what's up? What's been going on?
Oh,
yeah, the story about Cody Wilson, huh?
Yeah, we can hit that up. There is the Cody Wilson story that's flowing right now. The Brett Kavanaugh, that's up for the Supreme Court. That story is still rocking and rolling. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, yeah. That's I think there's a committee being put together by the GOP.
Yeah, there's stuff going on. I think they were both supposed to come up and testify in front of Congress, but I think the accuser says she wants the FBI to investigate first. And so we're going to talk about at least two stories like this. So I think with Brett Kavanaugh, we're talking about something that allegedly, potentially, maybe happened back in the 80s.
Right. So
we're looking at close to 40 years ago that something happened. And the person who's accusing him of this is, she's a doctor, she's a professor at a university, all that kind of stuff. He obviously is a federal judge. It's kind of weird that all of this is taken now at this moment it comes up. And I know there's a whole bunch of things going around this, like they went to a school that all these things went on, etc. But I just find that the timing on this one is incredibly suspect. And then as I heard, she wants the FBI to investigate. So wait, how long is that going to take for the FBI to investigate? Because I think we've been investigating a lot of crap in America lately, and they can't come up with any conclusions.
I'm going to agree that the time is odd that it's coming up. But to play devil's advocate, though, I'm going to say that it's not the first time she's brought it up.
Sure, I understand that, but if
she has brought it up much before Kavanaugh was even on the, even a thought in Donald Trump's head.
Yeah, but did she bring it up publicly? Because if you bring up things and you say them to your friend, by the way, bringing up something doesn't convict people.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just, like I said, I'm just, yeah,
I understand that, and I'm not trying to come down on the victim or anything like that. I think that there's a weird thing happening, and we can't just convict people in America, especially with something that happened so long ago. We can't just convict people willy-nilly here and say that, okay, this timing is a little suspect, but this guy's automatically guilty. That's just not cool.
No, that's absolutely not. I agree with that. Absolutely not. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty, for sure.
Yeah. And things that happened a long time ago, I'm not trying to negate anything that happened a long time ago, but things that happened a long time ago that you didn't do anything about, well, 30 years ago, you could have done something about it, or 10 years, or 10 years ago, or, 5 years ago, something could have been done. It could have been put out here. If he's a federal judge, he's been vetted. And I don't think this has ever come up in him being vetted. Right.
I don't know. I really don't know about that. There definitely has been no complaints about him before. No official complaints like police department or FBI or anything like that. That's for sure. He does have a clean record. I mean, you're right. She should have possibly reported it to the police when it didn't happen. Because I think it doesn't matter if he's a judge or not. I mean, you would want that for anyone, right? You don't want someone to do something wrong and get away with it.
Well, if we have a situation in America where women can accuse people of things however they want to, and then the men are automatically guilty, if that's the situation we have in America and we don't have vice versa, then, so in other words, if we don't have where men can accuse women of anything and they're automatically guilty,
right?
We only have where women can accuse men and they're automatically guilty, then it's pretty much over for men. At this point, it's over. Like, what is even the point? We shouldn't do anything. We should just stay home all day, or just not even, I don't really understand where that's coming from, because you could bring every single man down by just accusing him of something.
Yeah, it's true. Honestly, I think at this stage, probably the best thing the GOP can do is, and as much as people don't want to hear this, and again, I'm neutral here. I'm not taking sides or anything, but I think there's so much damage that's been done at this point that maybe they should think of another nominee.
I understand where you're coming from, and what I would say to that is, if the nominee was like, if it was really a question that this guy would have done this, or if he himself says, okay, I don't want this kind of heat, I get it. But I just don't think that that's the way things should work, because do you think that whoever else they come up with, that Democrats are going to go, okay, that's fine? Because honestly, they can come up with someone else. We could go through this again. Democrats can let us go through it again, because what happened here is Dianne Feinstein had this stuff from this woman for a long time now. From the time Kavanaugh came up, this stuff came through, and she just chose not to put it out back then. She didn't give them an opportunity to say, okay, let's pull this guy and put another guy. So they'll just keep playing this game, and then when we get another guy, they'll go, oh yeah, but we have another person who accuses them of something.
Right. That is correct what you said, but I did read today, I can't remember where, but I read today that Dianne Feinstein apparently didn't bring her forward because she didn't know who it was. It was an anonymous report.
Yeah. Okay, that's all very convenient.
It was. I'm trying to think where I read it, but
right.
it was something like she didn't want to be identified.
Yeah. Well, these people are politicians.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and the thing that I think about, I think, okay, we all know we have a two-party system in America. I think that's to the detriment of America. That's not just the Democrats, that's Republicans as well. I think it's detrimental to America that we have this kind of a system. That being said, the people who and everyone plays dirty politics in this, right? Republicans play dirty politics, Democrats play dirty politics. The people, though, who are expert and the best at doing this are Democrats. They are no joke. You know, this is the thing that I found, and they will just keep playing this game and just stretch this out, because they think if we can get to another president and then they could put in someone that they want, it'll be all good.
There's a wider spectrum of things here that we could discuss for like hours. Okay, I'll say this. So first of all, I don't know. I mean, you probably know this already, but a lot of people don't. But I'm neither Republican nor Democrat. I'm not even independent. I'm a classic libertarian. Okay. So what I think about the situation is that both parties are very obstructive. Okay. And that pisses me off. I'll tell you why it pisses me off. It pisses me off because in the end, progress doesn't happen either way.
Right.
So we had huge obstructionism when the Democrats were in power, and now we have the opposite. Right? Okay. But whatever the case may be, whether it be this with Kavanaugh or Obamacare or anything, right? There's always obstructionism happening, and at the end of the day, it stops things from going into heading into a direction. Okay? Yeah. On the issue of Kavanaugh, I'm going to say just one thing. On the issue of Kavanaugh, and more, I would say on the issue of the Supreme Court. This goes for the Supreme Court. I also don't think that there should be too much power in one direction. Okay, so I don't want a Supreme Court that's heavily Democrat, and I don't want a Supreme Court that's heavily Republican. The reason is, I mean, for me personally, okay, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but the reason for me is that it starts to feel like the balance is shifting too much into one direction, and that in itself causes more division in the country.
No, I see exactly.
I'm not saying that Kavanaugh shouldn't be the nominee, shouldn't go, because hey, you know, you could argue that he could get through, and then you know, Clarence dies the next day, you know, after the midterms or whatever, and then a Democrat replaces him, and so on and so forth.
I mean, right now we have what you're talking about, right? We pretty much have what you're talking about. We have a balance. And if things are allowed to go one way or the other, this unfortunately is the system. You know, I was talking to someone about this today, and it's like, this is the system that we have in America, right? This was set up as the system. And unfortunately, the only way to change this and get a better system is to decentralize how a lot of things are happening.
Right.
You know, and that itself, what we're going to go up against is both of these parties are not going to be, you know, amenable. They're not going to agree with us changing the system to make a better system where the people can take over.
Right.
And then you'll get people on the other side of that say, well, how do we know that the people know what the hell they're talking about if the people can be swung by things all the time, you know? And if you can convince people to do things that are to their own detriment.
You know, here's the thing. You just said something. Okay, I grew up when politics were more bipartisan and more reaching across the aisle style and working with the opposition. Okay, to get things done, and you don't see that anymore. That's the point I'm trying to make. You just don't see it anymore.
I agree with you on that.
It's gonna be my way or the highway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And there's a lot of things going on in our culture that's leading to that. I think the politicians are following the way that we are going. So, and what I mean by that is, you know, ultimately they just know how to push our buttons and push us over this way. And then maybe you have one side pushes people's buttons until they go too far that way. Then everyone gets upset, gets reactionary, and then that pendulum swings back the other way. And then maybe it goes too far that way and people get upset about it and it swings back. And we have these massive swings. We don't have people thinking rationally about everything. We just have people's buttons being pushed. You know, so if in the case of
pushed by politicians, though.
They're pushed by the politicians, they're pushed by media, they're pushed by lots of different concerns. And if we really wanted to resolve all of that, I think we're really far away from it. We have to figure out how to change things way more than they are right now. This is just the way that it is. And look at voting. If you have a voting setup where you can vote for whoever you want to, and then people come in there and go like, okay, we know you voted for this person, but we have super delegates and we're going to decide that those super delegates go to this person. What do you got? You know,
right,
like what was the point of you going out there and doing that?
Exactly. That's because the voting system is broken.
Yeah, a lot of systems are broken in America. So we either fix it by it all gets burnt down and then whoever survives has to build it back, or we're rational about it and we approach it in a rational way and do something about it. But what's the likelihood? Human beings that we're dealing with today are not rational at all. This is the reason why when things happen in the world and people die, someone goes, oh my God, this is because of guns. We got to make these guns illegal. We got to regulate this. Like these things are already heavily regulated, but people are just, I had that conversation today with someone. You know, I met a guy and he was telling me the first thing that came out of his mouth, he said, we got to regulate these things. I don't think he was coming from a bad point because he stopped himself. And he was actually a Marine, and he stopped himself when he heard himself say, you know, we need more laws. And then he kind of backed off and said, you know what, we need people to know what they're doing. Right. So that's the thing. The first reaction of human beings when something happens is, why isn't there a law about that? Right. Then they think deeper, like you can't actually regulate everything.
No, you can't. I mean, most laws are broken on a daily basis. Most laws. Okay. Whether it's a small thing that you're, you know, a small misdemeanor up to murder, you know what I mean? So, you know, to regulate more and more is, I mean, you and I are on the same page on this, but
yeah, we're dealing with emotions here. It's like cars kill a lot of people. So what should we do? Should we say that cars can't go over a certain speed? And then what's the speed that's going to be safe? And then once we establish
we already say that we just, okay, we don't do it on the car side, but we do it on the road, you know, at speed limit side. But, you know, people are still going to die because some asshole can't drive, you know, can't keep his car under control when he's doing 100 miles an hour.
Oh, or doesn't know that he shouldn't do 100 miles an hour in this particular situation or that particular situation, and then things go wrong. And if you say, you know what, then let's stop these cars from being able to go so fast. Someone's going to figure out a way around that.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just not going to work.
Ultimately, I'm not trying to be defeatist, but we're gonna do these kind of things because basically, no matter what the laws are, no matter how much technology we have, no matter what's going on in the world, we're human beings, you know, and we have desires and needs and things like that we have to feed. Otherwise, we get bored. When people start to get bored and not happy with what's going on, they start doing things. Right. Yeah. They get aggressive. They start becoming destructive. You know, we work against ourselves. The only way to get rid of that is to get rid of us. When you get rid of us, whatever replaces us, you know, if it's monkeys or zebras or whatever other animal, if they become sentient like us, they're going to do the same thing.
I've seen monkeys that are more reasonable than people.
Under certain circumstances.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, and I think human beings are relatively reasonable. If we were completely unreasonable, the wars that we have on this planet right now, as bad as we think it would be way worse. Most of us are reasonable people most of the time. What happens is every now and then you get either someone or a group of people who are really ridiculously unreasonable or just out of control, or you get a person here or there that's out of control, and the rest of society in that moment needs to be able to deal with that person.
Look, the biggest problem, I'm going to tell you one thing. The biggest problem I believe, and I firmly believe for a long time, is that politics and money don't mix. Okay, or should I say, politicians and money don't mix? Right? We're having a big, like, our biggest problems now is because politicians no longer give a shit about the people. Okay, they only care about their sponsors, whether it be Republican or Democrat or whatever it is, even independents. You know what I mean? Like the minute that we remove money from politics is the minute that everything is going to start getting better. And
perhaps I think you know what, and I'm not trying to cut you off. I think it's not really the money. It's like the quote from Scarface. You know, first you get the money, then you get what comes after that. What comes after the money? I think he said let's look up the quote. Let's look it up, because I think he said you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the bitches.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
So.
The thing is, the problem is that all these politicians, none of them are working for the people. None of them are working for their country. That's the problem that I see. So, you know, that's the root of, that's the root of all evil right there. I have to send a text here to my wife to. Oh.
Okay. So let me see. So here it goes. It says, in this country, you got to make the money first. Then when you get the money, you get the power. Then when you get the power, you get the women.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's kind of like, I think money is a part of it, but what everyone's looking for is the power, excuse me. It's the power part of it. And why do the politicians have the power? Because we decide that these people should go up there and make decisions for us, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a vicious circle. A lot of people that are currently in their seats, like whether it's the Senate or the House or whatever, are there because of a broken voting system. So it's a vicious circle. They make the rules about voting, and then we vote. Our vote doesn't really count, and then they're empowering again. So it's like, you know.
But what if we changed it?
Like canceling Christmas is what it is.
Well, what if we changed it and we said, you know what, we don't even need you guys? What if we had just the people voted on everything? So if we wanted to build a wall, we're like, okay, everyone vote. Let's see who wants to build a wall. And
Switzerland does that. Switzerland holds referendums every couple of months.
Yes. Now, what I'm asking you is, would that work? Because I think that might not actually work.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, currently, our current system clearly isn't working, right? We've established that.
Yeah.
So maybe it's time to try something new, right? It might sound naive. It might sound crazy to some people, but it's not working. I mean, we are not moving forwards.
Yeah.
All we're doing is, and especially with the proliferation of the internet, is we're being more divided, right? We're bitching more and more at each other, right? And people no longer talk to their neighbors and their friends because of politics. Okay, and it's driving a huge wedge in this country. So maybe it's time we try something different.
Okay, and then I think that brings up its own questions. If we're going to try to do that, how do we secure it? How do we know? Do we leave it up to the government to secure it? Do we leave it up to some big company, Facebook, YouTube, Apple, to secure it?
What do you mean secure it?
To secure the vote. How do we know? How do we know that vote is? How do we verify that vote?
We could probably just use technology. You know, And I don't know who's going to supervise it or how it's going to happen, but we could use technology. This whole thing that, I mean, come on, we you know, we've landed on Mars already. Can you tell me that we can't devise a system that is secure enough and monitored enough and simple enough for us to you know, for us to verify votes? That's
no, I'm not. No, I think I think we absolutely could. Me personally, I believe we could. But on the question of us landing on Mars, there's people who believe we never landed on the moon. There's
well,
people
yeah,
who believe that this planet is flat. You
yeah.
know? So
I saw a funny Facebook post the other day from the flat earthers. They said, off topic here for a second, but it's quite funny. It said something like, all around the globe, right? There's more and more people that are becoming flat earthers.
all around
the globe.
Yeah, yeah. I know, it's crazy. So okay,
look,
I mean,
going back to what you were saying, it's look here. I think that we need to remove money from politics. Okay, revamp the voting system and how it's done. Like, come on, look at gerrymandering, man. That's
I think. Listen, here's what I would say to you. I think we definitely need to simplify all of this. This all needs to get boiled down. First of all, what do we have these people up there for? They're making laws. Why? Why are we why do we keep making laws? We don't need this many laws in the world. If you're truly a libertarian, then how many laws do we need? Do we need more than 10 laws on the face of this planet in forever of time? Because I don't think we do.
Probably not.
Yeah, no. That right there will get rid of a lot of politicians.
Right. You know? Yeah, exactly. So, and, you know, you're talking about a system though that goes back a couple of hundred years, and you know, it's nigh on probably impossible to, you know, to.
Yeah. I mean, look, think about it. Why do we have this discussion? And we're going to go to the Cody Wilson discussion here in a second. But we're having this because we're trying to put someone on the Supreme Court. Why do we have that? Because we have so many laws that forever we will be fighting about laws, when all we need is a simple set of laws, and that's what it frickin' is. No modifications. You don't need to change anything. You violate this simple set of laws, your ass is in trouble.
Yeah, for one thing, I don't think, and this is, again, this might annoy some people, and very few might agree with me, but I don't think the president should actually be nominating anybody to the Supreme Court. I think it should come down to a vote.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Talking about referendums and votes like we were talking earlier, why shouldn't this be put down to the people to choose? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Why should it be that the president should do this? I mean, I don't get that. And I've read the Constitution, you know.
I think the biggest reason for it is that things will get really crazy, and you know, I think whatever system we create, people are going to want to manipulate it. I think ultimately people are going to want to manipulate it. If we're voting, people are going to want to manipulate that. We do have things where people vote and people try to manipulate it. Here in Florida, I think in our elections coming up, there's going to be addendums to the Constitution. People are going to try to amend the Constitution so they can put in gun bans and do all kinds of stuff. And some people are going, oh yeah, that's the way to go. And then there's lots of people in Florida like, oh man, why would we go that way? But if the majority of the people go in that direction, then you got worse stuff, you know? So
yeah. On that, someone opt out of gun control says, so when 51% of America votes to take away our guns, you're on board with that. Of course, I'm not on board with that. And of course, that's not what I meant. Okay. But what we're saying here is that we're saying that politicians are clearly corrupt. They're making, like you said, making more and more laws, right? I'll tell you what, the flip side to what opt out of gun control just said is that if politicians got paid enough money and it was in their interest, they'd probably take our guns away, Republican or Democrat, doesn't matter.
You know what I think? I think we're on the same side.
You know, so of course I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about having referendums about everything. But what I'm saying is that there are some things that we probably need to stop politicians from deciding on, and we should decide on.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Do you agree with me?
I do agree with you. I think the problem that we have is we keep complicating it. So no matter what, we keep complicating it. And the whole question here is, why are we even trying to find, why is there even a Supreme Court? Why do we need that? You know, why do we need a Supreme Court? Why are there these people who are constantly dealing with laws and the changes to the law? And then this new law came in. We got to figure out if it's constitutional. Why are we doing that in this day and age? Now, you know, maybe at some point in our history when we're trying to decide the morality of slavery, I get it. But I mean, even then in history, slavery was wrong, right? People knew that you don't enslave other human beings. Yet we had to do that. So today, here we are. Why, you know, that's not even a conversation. Why do we need more laws? Why don't we just have less laws? But I think to simplify things in America is never going to happen.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. And you know, it's just laws are created for. I think that most laws are created at the end of the day for someone somewhere is benefiting financially for every time a new law gets created.
Absolutely, absolutely. But you know what the thing is? See, like you're a businessman, right? You're a businessman. So
yeah,
you've got to solve problems to run your business. I get it. I'm the same way. My brain works like, how can I solve this problem? And we're all, you know, most of us are thinking that way. Like, how can we solve this problem? The thing with politicians and the whole conversation about politicians is they're not thinking about solving a problem. They're thinking about being a necessity in order to solve a problem. So that means that necessity means you have to have a problem to be solved. So there's no way it's against, you know, it's not good for their job security for us to solve problems. They have to create problems.
That's the point I was trying to make as well. They are where I come from is what we call career politicians. Okay? Yeah, it's career politicians. They're not in it for their country.
Yeah, okay? the change. Honestly, here the change that you're looking for only happens when the people get so mad, and then everything boils over, everything blows up. People have a huge fight about it, and then that's how it gets settled, right? The victors are the ones who settle it and write history, and then write the new laws. This is the reason why in the Constitution it was, you know, they made it that the people should be able to continue to be armed.
Yeah,
because if the government is more armed than the people, then that will never happen. They'll never decide to change themselves. We would have to obviously go in there and say, oh, you got to change.
We absolutely don't need more laws. In fact, if we based our existence on the Constitution, we'd have a much better America today. And we wouldn't need like 3/4 of the laws that we have on the books today, right? If we just based everything that we do on the Constitution. But look, again, it's all about money, man. I mean, look, I'll give you one example. Like, there are laws that are being made that are being created to keep put people in prison, okay? Like, we're talking people going to prison for what would be a misdemeanor, right? Mm-hmm. And prisons that are basically ran by private corporations that are paying lobbyists to get these laws passed, right? So, you know, how's that for a violation of the Constitution?
Yeah, I listen. I understand, man. We can go around and around with it.
Laws that explicitly violate things like the 4th Amendment and even the 1st Amendment sometimes. You know what I mean? And all that kind of stuff. And the 2nd Amendment and the 8th and all types of amendments, right? But yet they get passed. So, you know, where do you go from there?
Less laws.
It's again less laws and less money in politics, right? Do not allow any private lobby, you know, any private corporation to lobby for a change of law.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
Especially when it's not in line with the Constitution.
Right. Now, the reason why all the money's going to the politicians is because we set them up as the people. Right. So now maybe if they're not set up, if we as the people are making those decisions, then that money is going to probably head in our direction. Right. To swing what we're doing. Now, what do you think? And I'm not, you know, I'm just trying to make this argument to you. If it's left up to the people, the politicians are people that got greedy. Right. They get into those positions and they get money and they get all these perks of being politicians and making the decision. So what about when it's left up to the people? Can companies buy off the people? Could the companies pay off the people and make the people do something that's against their own good? Yeah, they can. They can do that too.
Probably.
Yeah, it
Probably, yeah.
happens all the time. It happens all the time.
Yeah, if the system, look, I'm not saying that when I said earlier about like referendums and stuff like that, okay? Um, I'm not saying that we should have a vote on absolutely everything in our daily life. That's not even practical, okay? But what I'm saying is that, we're talking about that we're fed up with a system that is broken, right? And it's like, well, what else do we do? Where do we go from here, right? And all I'm saying is that maybe on some things, like maybe we should vote, maybe we should have a vote on who's going to be the next Supreme Court thing, because we've established that we can't get rid of the Supreme Court system. Ideally, that's what we if we could vote, we would vote that pile of shit out, right?
Mhm.
And not let a bunch of again,
Yeah. But how did it happen in America? I mean, America is that pretty much, right? The founding fathers rebelled against the king, right?
right.
And then they, at their own risk, lots of people died, both sides. And then the victors, right,
Yeah,
decided, okay, we are going to make
the
these new laws. A couple of dudes got together and they're like, these are the new laws. We're going to set it up this way. That experiment is still running today, probably the better experiment in the world, the way that it sits. It wasn't perfect, so we're here and we're trying to deal with it. And the only way that this one breaks, really, because it's like you're saying with term limits. When are the politicians going to agree? Let's have a vote about term limits. They'll never do that.
no,
They'll never do that.
it's not gonna happen. It's
I can tell you right now, Kavanaugh will sit on the Supreme Court before the politicians out there decide to have a vote on term limits. And if Democrats win and they have the White House and they have a majority and they want to put a liberal on the Supreme Court, that person will get on the Supreme Court before these guys go, you know what? Let's have term limits. How about that?
There you go. That's that. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. They're like not only are they making decisions that are detrimental to the country and to us, okay, but they're protecting themselves. Like they're building their own nest, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they get to decide what happens with that in that nest and what happens everything outside that.
Yeah.
Nest.
Unfortunately, the end road of this, Sam, is a revolution. That's what I'm trying to say to you. Yeah. And the chaos that's going to come out of that, who knows who's going to survive that one. That's the only way things like this change, man. And this is the reason why it is really important for people to be ready. I don't want that to happen. I definitely, I mean, that's not the world I want to live in. I want things to happen the right way, but the likelihood of things happening the right way and us coming to our senses and doing something about it is very low. So either we will continue in this kind of craziness, or we're going to get to a point where people are like, I'm done with this. Now, maybe that's why right now you see this ramp up against the Second Amendment, because they realize like, hey, we're not going to be able to push people these other few yards over that line, if they're armed. Right. Because there's going to be a point that people go, you know what, forget all of that.
I know what you're saying, and I agree with you. I don't want to live in that kind of situation either. We both have families. A lot of people listening to this have families. Just like everybody else around the country, nobody wants to be into that situation. What I think we should do is we should start talking to people, right? We need to sit down and have conversations, civil conversations with people that we don't agree with.
I agree. Yeah, I think so, man.
We have to close the gap of division, and anybody who opposes that basically is just, in my opinion, is just basically someone who just is like this. They're closed-minded. They don't want to. They just want to block everything out and believe what they want to believe.
Okay.
We have to sit down with people that disagree with us and have civil conversations. Sit down with them, have a beer, have whatever, offer, we offer the hand and say, okay, right, let's talk about guns, right? Let's, change my mind about guns. Allow me to put some points across about guns or about, or about abortion or whatever it is, whatever topic it is.
Yeah,
right?
I think we should always talk to each other.
Each corner, bitching at each other from far away, right? Just shouting at each other because nothing is going to get done. And politicians love it. I'm telling you right now, whoever's listening, politicians, this is what they love. This is what they want.
Okay? Yeah, I agree with you that we should talk to each other. What I would say to you, though, is that ultimately, where does that talking go to, right? So if we sit down and we talk to each other and we say like, okay, at the end it comes to it that you can't convince them, they can't convince you, and then they say, look, you know, the only way to deal with this, you give up something to me first. Oh, you know, this is what I'm telling you about that is I think ultimately at this point in history, we've given up too much already.
Right. Okay.
You know?
You're talking about, okay, you're talking about gun rights. So I'm going to completely agree with you here, but you would be surprised. First of all, we have to try. Okay. And you'd be surprised how much you can win people over by trying. I know I have. I'm telling you right now, I know I have. I've converted at least 3 friends of mine, okay, into gun lovers from, you know, panicking and sweating when they saw a gun.
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
I agree. Look, I agree.
From believing all the bullshit that the leftist media has shoved down their throat to being now on my side. All right, okay, they're not hardcore gun owners, but they own a gun.
They get it.
And
yeah.
They go shit. And now they learn to for themselves go and look for the truth.
There's a lot of arguments there's arguments out there or discussions that people like see and they realize. For example, when we're talking about gun stuff, if you're talking to people of color or people who feel like they're in the minority or they're persecuted in America, anyone out there can randomly pick one. But let's say you're talking to black people and that person believes that there shouldn't be any guns. You know, when I'm having that discussion with them, I say, okay, so when there's laws saying that having a gun is illegal, who do you think's getting arrested first? Who do you think that person's looking like? What are they going to look like? That person who's getting arrested. And and this is the thing, like people don't, if you go back to New York City with crack cocaine, a vial of crack cocaine in New York City when I grew up there puts you in jail for 20 years.
Right.
One vial. Little tiny thing like that. That's not even the crack cocaine. That's the size of the vial. Puts you in prison for 20 years. Lots of people still serving time off of that. And who are those people and how do they wind up going to jail? This is what happens when you're out there going, you know what the solution is to this? Let's make this thing illegal. Let's make that illegal. Who decides who's broken that law and who goes to jail?
Yeah, there you go. Again, it's someone who is, what I said earlier, someone who is benefiting financially from this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
it's usually like you and me, the taxpayer, and everybody listening to the show. Right.
Yeah. I think
knows, but you know, again, what I'm saying, you know, is that we need to reach out and start talking to each other, right? And stop this saying, you know, we have to act like grown-ups and stop bitching and just talk to people that disagree with us, have a friendly conversation. And at the end of the day, if we don't convince each other, then at least we've proven that we can sit down and have a civil conversation, okay, without letting politicians be the constant wedge between us, right?
Yeah. Listen, I think I agree with you. I think lots of us try to talk to each other. I think that it's not true that we don't talk to each other. I think we are talking to each other. We're coming, and I'm not saying you and I think in lots of ways we're coming to an impasse because of the ways that people are setting up things. Like right now we're talking about the sex subject, right? The difference, the war that's going on between men and women. Now on the flip side of what's happening with Kavanaugh, what we're going to talk about is Cody Wilson, right? And I'm going to pull that up. I think I sent you something earlier. This is on The Truth About Guns. Breaking: Defense Distributed's Cody Wilson's charged with sexual assault. Right? So that's the news. The Austin Statement is reporting that Defense Distributed Cody Wilson has been charged with sexual assault after an encounter with a minor last month. Okay, the affidavit said a counselor called Austin police on August 22nd to report that a girl under the age of 17 told her she had sex with a 30-year-old man on August 15th and was paid $500. And it goes on. I don't think that he's in the country right now. I think he's out of the country. That whole thing goes on. And I'm sure lots of people say, okay, this is a setup. Obviously, this guy is out there trying to do something. And then, boom, this shows up. We all probably would think that. I would agree with that. I think if you dig into this deeper, they actually went and found surveillance footage that corroborates the charge. So they found that he was in the place, booked a hotel, and all that kind of stuff. This seems like, you know, it's something serious for him, and he's definitely going to have to face it. I think it's the opposite side of what's happening with Kavanaugh. You're talking about someone's talking about something that happened 30-something years ago, right? That how do you prove that he was at the party? How do you how does he prove he was not at the party? You know, Like,
Right.
how do
Yeah.
we actually get in there and do forensic evidence versus what's going on here with Cody Wilson is, according to the police, they've got forensic evidence that says, yeah, you did this thing. So whether or not he knew how old this girl was, if he did something with someone who was underage in a state, then he's got a problem. And for sure, that could be a setup, could be lots of things going on there. Ultimately, everyone's responsible for their own honor. If this thing went down, even if he did it without knowing about it, you fell into the honeypot trap, and you've unwittingly allowed yourself to be set up, if you were set up, or you created the thing that brings you down, right? You're hoisted on your own petard, or whatever, however it is. So
yeah, I don't understand, why did he pay her $500? It says he paid her $500.
Yeah, I don't know. Yes, it says here, and so, and this, I don't know. I see some people talking about Taiwan. I don't know that this happened in Taiwan. You know, this happened. No. This happened in America.
Yeah. No, it happened. Apparently, he picked her up.
This happened in America. Something that happened in another country would definitely be a problem based on what's going on in that country, but I don't think so. I think this particular thing happened here in this country, you know. So that's what these guys are going to be dealing with.
Yeah,
you know.
And if it happened, I'm telling you right now, sure as hell, he probably just did not know that she was under 17.
Yeah, this happened in Austin, so I'm not familiar with what the laws are.
Well,
in Austin.
Well, it's
in Texas.
Texas wide, she's got to be 17.
Yeah. So there you go.
So you know,
if they can prove this, they've got a case. He's at least got to show up and deal with the case and take it there. I'm not saying that that makes him totally wrong. This is what I'm trying to say is that this is completely different from the Kavanaugh thing.
Right.
You know, they're obviously both here. They're relative to discussions that we're having. He's a guy who put up, who's out there advocating for the 3D printable guns to exist. I agree with that. I think they should exist. But he's a person, who, if he goes down, that doesn't negate the validity of 3D guns.
Maybe the left set him up.
It's possible, but he has to deal with it. And ultimately, if he did this thing, listen, I guarantee you they could be 17 or 16-year-old girls that look like they're 18, 19, 20-year-old or whatever. But, but ultimately, if you're rocking and rolling and doing things, I just have to tell people, you've got to keep yourself out of trouble. Right. Yeah. And if you get into trouble, it's ultimately on you if you actually did it. If you didn't do it and you could prove that, then okay, you could prove that. That's just how this works. I think, though, that it's a completely different situation. The police in Austin aren't just going to go, oh, she said this, we're going to go lock him up. They found video evidence that he was in this place that she said he was in. So now he's got to deal with that, right? Somehow he's got to deal with these charges and step up to it. It's unfortunate, and sure, it could be a setup, but ultimately it could be a setup that he willingly walked into. We can't just say, oh, well, he's doing this thing, and so therefore we waive it and he's out of it. It doesn't really, work like that. Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just, I mean, look, if you go on a date with someone that claims that they're, I don't know, 20 years old, whatever, 21, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. In a state that is, is a 17-year-old thing like Texas. Now,
I'm just laughing. You got your hands full right there.
How many times how many of those people are gonna say, how old are you? Show me your ID.
I think people have to think about what they do. I'm just telling you, we're living in a different world. You have to think about, this is not the freaking 60s. Yeah. This is not the 60s. You got to think about what you do. If you're going to dip your stick in something, think about it. Richard Hughes is asking me, how do I keep the women from jumping into the R8? First of all, I've never had that issue.
You just keep the doors closed.
No, there's no women trying to jump in there. That's one. Two, that's not for me, I don't see cars that way. I'm 46 years old.
And for two, your wife is listening to this.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's not why. To me, doing stuff like having a really nice car or having guns and doing other things, that's how I get, that's how I have my enjoyment and have fun in the world. I think there's always options. You don't have to spend your life chasing women, and it can get you in trouble. If you for guys out there, if you haven't learned, it can get you in trouble. Think twice, 3 times before you do anything. It's the same advice I give to my sons. Because once you get in there, anything could be said, anything could be done. It's a dangerous world. It's been like that. It didn't happen yesterday. It's been a dangerous world. So for me personally, like I don't like if I have a nice car or something like that, I don't do it for women or anything like that. So
yeah. Let me know when you do buy a nice car.
Yeah. Oh, sure. If it's not a Range Rover, I'm guessing it's not. In your world,
the R8 is cool. The R8 is
in your world, it's not a. But that's the thing. Like I just think that we're always responsible ultimately for what we do here, and I think it's 2 different stories that we're looking at. A story from 30-something years ago that you yourself, this person saying this, there's things she doesn't remember about it. There's things he doesn't remember. Everyone had it would be so tough to go back and get witnesses and all that kind of stuff. There's no evidence existing anymore of this particular thing. That's completely different from the Texas, whatever you got in Texas. I don't know.
17.
No, like the troopers or constables, whatever you call law enforcement in Texas. If someone makes a report and they go look and there's like, oh, well, you were here, you did this thing, and there's evidence you did this. Now you've got to at least step up and say what happened, and then at least it'll still be a she type of situation.
I've not seen the evidence, of course, and I'm not a legal expert, but even if let's look at it this way. Even if there's like footage of, let's say, him meeting her in that coffee shop, whatever it's called. So what? So they met in the coffee shop.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that they did anything, but I'm just saying to you that at least there's that.
They're gonna need more than that. If he denies it, they're gonna need more than that for. And I don't understand. I've got the story here. Did she go to the police and just say that he did what? He raped her?
There was a counselor apparently, so I don't know where the counselor came from. Maybe So actually, if you read into this story, there's some kind of
parents. This is through the parents.
Right. And there was some kind of, this girl was registered on some kind of like a website called sugardaddymeet.com.
Daddymeet.com.
Yeah. So she was registered on that. He met her through that.
So I'm guessing they're gonna pull all the records from that website. They're gonna subpoena that website to disclose all the record, the chats and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think ultimately here, what's going to happen is he's either going to step up and face these charges and deal with it. Happens all the time. Happens to athletes, happens to politicians, happens to lots of people, happens to just regular dudes that people accuse them of things. Be very careful with what you do. Ultimately, you can do nothing wrong and someone could accuse you of something. In America, you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, and you can go through the process. Sometimes you still wind up in jail, and then a lot of time goes by, and maybe someone figures out you were innocent before you die in prison.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The laws around this, especially here in Texas, are just so strict and stuff.
What's the solution to that? Like, do we all just boom implant something in our foreheads and walk around recording everything that happens? And then how does that go down? I'm sure we've seen an episode of Black Mirror. I remember seeing Black Mirror had an episode like that. I think there was an episode.
I haven't seen Black Mirror.
Yeah, I haven't seen all of them, but I remember looking at one where every day, like you can show everything that happened in your life. And so because I remember part of the story, this couple, they were like, well, show me what happened. And do you really want to see everything that happens?
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Wasn't like Minority or something like that.
Yeah, a lot of people will be getting arrested for things they do to themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
So that can go horribly wrong. But I think we're just like, how do you protect yourself from this?
I don't know, man. You probably, just like you said, you probably just have to ask for ID and shit like that, you know?
Yeah, you have to be careful. Think about everything that you do. Think twice, think three
especially
times.
with eye.
Yeah.
Especially with eye.
Yeah. So Lola wants us to talk about what we think is going to happen with 3D and stuff like that. What do you think is going to happen here? Do you think this is the end of it?
Not necessarily. No, I don't see why the company should shut down. If he, I'm assuming he's got someone who can take over as CEO or whatever it is. You know, someone to run it. It doesn't have to be. I don't think he's a one-man operation.
Yeah, I also don't think this has anything to do with one man. It's people's right to be able to defend themselves.
Yeah,
that we're
I
dealing
don't
with.
know if they put him in jail. Obviously, I don't know. You know, the downside of that is, you know, to the 2A community is that he's gone, and you know, he'll be gone, and you know, there's no one going to be there to replace him in the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's been fighting hard for this thing for a few years now. Yeah,
but I don't think that that's really true. I think there's lots of people who can step up here and continue this fight. You know, so
yeah. It's just that he knows the 3D, you know, the 3D game inside out. But you know, regardless,
I don't know. That's like saying that if we lose, if we lose Elon Musk, then that's the end of electric cars.
No, it's true. Yeah, true.
You know, or we'll never be able to go into space. You know,
but that's what I was saying earlier. That someone will be able to take over his company and, you know, and still run things. Yeah. I just don't know on the you know, on the you know what I mean, on the 2A fight side. You know, for 3D guns, what will happen? But regardless, I don't know if, I mean, I'm kind of 50-50 on whether he's going to go to jail for this.
Yeah, I think ultimately it has to do with what really happened, and is he gonna be willing to step up, you know, and deal with whatever happened to, and try to prove it. And I think ultimately, if it did not happen, you know, that's gonna somehow come out. You know, if you know that you didn't do something, you should never just.
But it could come out that it did happen, but he didn't know her. He didn't know that.
Yeah, but that doesn't absolve you of
about her age. You know, I mean.
Yeah, but I don't think that that's gonna stop him from having problems then in Texas. He's already, from what I read in news reports, he's already on a sex registry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. I guess in Texas they just put you on there.
Oh, you mean automatically on a sex registry?
Yeah. Once this thing, not that he did something previously, that this puts him on it.
I think he has to get convicted first.
Okay, I know. I'm not 100% on that. I know I was reading somewhere because he's not in the country that they put him on something so that wherever he's traveling around, that's going to pop up. So I'm guessing the best thing for him to do is bring his butt back over here and deal with it to whatever extent, you know, and let's figure out what actually went down there and take it from there. Yeah, you know.
They probably have him. They probably have him reported with Interpol, so they can, if he crosses a border somewhere, Europe or Canada, whatever, so that he can get stopped and, you know, extradited back to the U.S. I guess.
Yeah. I predict in the future that we're like, either it's going to have to be sex robots, but I think the danger that you're running into with sex robots is they are going to, the sex robots will accuse us of harassment.
You think?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen.
Just have sex robots and just forget about everything else.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a permanent solution. I think that eventually we're just going to get in trouble with that. Yeah.
You never know in the future, you know, robots can be, probably replace all of us in the end.
That's highly likely. It's highly likely, especially if you listen to what Elon Musk and Joe Rogan had to say.
I didn't really hear that show. I think I just scrolled to the part where Elon Musk was just, you know.
Oh, that must have been really quick. He only did that for like a second.
Yeah.
He literally took a puff and then moved on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was crazy. I just put up this other thing there in the news, and I'll share it with people because I don't know if this is like a victory or not a victory, but so federal judge dismisses class action lawsuit against SlideFire.
All right. Yeah, that's good. That's
Yeah,
good news.
U.S. Court Judge Gloria M. Navarro has dismissed a class action lawsuit brought against Slyfire Solutions. As a result of the Mandalay Bay shooting, her decision turned on whether a bump fire stock qualifies as a component part of a firearm under the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act.
The PLCAA, yeah.
Yeah, and is therefore protected from liability due to criminal misuse of an otherwise legal product.
I don't understand why they waste taxpayers' money and their own money and bring these cases to court. I mean, it never goes anywhere. It's the same with, you know, when they're trying to sue Bushmaster for, you know, for the Connecticut thing, you know, I mean, it's just like, what's the point? I don't get it, you know?
Yeah.
They always get thrown out of court because it's been, you know, this shit's been settled a long time ago.
Yeah, I think the solution to a lot of things, because I see people talking about this, we do really need better solutions in America for a lot of things that we have. So like identity and stuff like that, I think there should be a better way for it. Look, here's a way that people got away from government, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, right? That's not, those are not verified by the government or any big corporation.
Good.
You know, so that's what I mean when I was talking about decentralization. We've talked about it before. I'm not super well versed on this. I'm just trying to look into it all myself right now. But I think you are okay.
Yeah. Good. I totally agree with that. Good. You know, and governments don't like it. Governments have been trying to corner Bitcoin and you know, cryptocurrency for a long time now, and thankfully it's still been slipping out of their hands because they just want to fucking control everything.
Yeah. So what verifies Bitcoin? The blockchain, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So the blockchain can be used for lots of things in the world and in our society and civilization. It could be used for identification, lots of different things,
products, services, all kind of stuff. Tech services, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. So, but the problem with it, the big problem with it is that it's decentralized from the government and it's decentralized from big corporations.
It's a big problem for governments and corporations.
Yes, absolutely. I think that and what we're going to see them doing is making, you know, you're not going to want to hear this, but they're going to make laws about it.
Yeah, no, they're already making laws about it. But,
yeah.
You know, I mean, there's already laws here in the U.S. that got enacted not long ago. You know, on how you declare that income, and you know that caused a whole big freaking problem, and especially for CPAs and stuff like that, people doing accounts, because you know, 99% of CPAs in this country, they don't know anything about Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying, and how to deal with it. So it's a mess, but
yeah,
you know, still there's a lot of countries. I mean, the vast majority of the money is sitting in countries that still don't have Bitcoin laws.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. So now this is a little bit off of the subject. I was telling you about this. This is something that I've seen people talking about a lot today. How the Canadian cannabis company Tilray became worth more than American Airlines. So there was this company Tilray that the stock, I think when they first came out, it says here they came out in June or July, and it was like a 17, let's see, NASDAQ, its initial share price was $17 as of a month ago. Its price had about doubled to around 35, but in recent days, it's well past 200. So Tilray is it's the first company to go public on the NASDAQ, and it's a marijuana company, basically. What do you think about that?
Yeah. What do I think about that? I mean, hey, you know, I think eventually marijuana is going to be, you know, eventually every government is going to accept the fact that marijuana has to be legalized. Mm-hmm. Whether people agree with it or not, I'm not taking a position for marijuana here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that, you know, in the end, they're going to have to realize that marijuana, and this is factually, we're talking facts here. Okay. I'm not taking the position whether, I don't smoke marijuana. Okay. And I don't have any interest in it personally.
Mm-hmm.
From a factual thing, alcohol is 100 times worse than marijuana. Okay. No one has ever died from marijuana, directly from marijuana. Right. So, eventually I think with this here and more governments like South Africa, that South Africa, was it this week or last week, also legalized marijuana,
The
major,
whole country.
the whole country, the
Okay.
biggest, the biggest country on the African continent,
Hmm.
right? Legalized marijuana. More and more governments are doing it. Eventually, we're going to see stuff like this. We're going to see companies, trading, on the exchange with with marijuana being as a base asset.
Yeah, I think we're definitely heading down this road. And yeah, what's the difference between marijuana and cigars or alcohol, or for that matter, legal prescription drugs? I mean, I think in a lot of cases, those prescription drugs are more destructive and all that. Never smoked marijuana. I did grow up with my dad. You know, my dad smoked weed and all that kind of stuff when I was a kid.
Right.
Doesn't do that. Doesn't do any of that stuff anymore. Stopped drinking, all of that. But the thing
Yeah.
is that so for that reason, I don't do a lot of those things, right? Because I saw the result from my perspective. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Right.
I think that it has lots of benefits for people. I think as long as you don't do things that are going to hurt other people. So I don't think people should drink and drive. I don't think people should be high and driving. I know that it has an opposite effect maybe on your reflexes and all that kind of stuff. Well, that's just as destructive. If your reflexes slow down and you're driving in a car, you can make huge mistakes because you don't react fast enough.
Yeah, absolutely,
So-
absolutely. And I'm not saying that it should be free for all. Just like alcohol shouldn't be a thing. Just a no limits thing.
Yeah, and Southern Partisan says, boy, South Africa is in trouble with coming civil war. Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of things going on in South Africa right now, for sure.
Right, yeah, absolutely. South Africa has always had always had different problems.
Maybe if more people in South Africa like smoked up the ganja, they might chill out a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, they might need to chill out a little bit, but I see that happening in America, so I think this is the first. I know I saw people that were mad because they didn't get in on this stock when it was like 17, but that always happens, right? I mean, buy low, sell high. Now is not the time if you're into trading stocks to get into this one.
Now isn't the time. Now probably is the time to watch other companies that might enter.
Yeah.
On the stock like that, but this opportunity has been
and then I think this company is not in America.
It's in Canada.
So, yeah, it's in Canada. Well, that's a big problem for me right there. Just
island, I think island town of Nanaimo in Canada.
Yeah. So we need some American companies too, and I think that's going to happen. I think America's a breadbasket. Lots of places in America where you can grow stuff. So I think you're going to see more and more of this happening. People can grow stuff,
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've got no issues with it. I just say don't try to buy into the stock now unless it makes a huge pullback, and then maybe you can get involved. But
yeah, don't buy into the stock now. Don't smoke weed and go drive your your car or anything like that, or any vehicle. Don't do stupid shit.
Yeah.
Even I mean, I'm talking to people that are in states like Colorado or Nevada or whatever. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, this hasn't been all positive for Colorado. I'm seeing lots of stories because you can personally grow in your house in Colorado. So there's people taking advantage of that, and people have rented other people's houses and just turned it into massive grow houses. And
right, and that's illegal though.
Yeah, it is illegal, but they've got to catch them.
Right.
The cartels don't give up, man. The cartels from other countries are still coming here and using all this stuff.
You got to think that was always happening anyway.
Yeah, I think eventually all of that will go away when we take away. Yeah. But there's lots of things, to get back to what we were saying before, there's lots of things that should not be illegal in America. And one of them is guns.
One of them is what?
One of them is guns. Guns should not be illegal.
No, they shouldn't. I mean, every gun law is basically an infringement on on people's rights. Every single gun law. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if it means a 4473 or or whatever, or concealed carry laws or anything. The minute you put those two words together, gun law, right, or gun laws is an infringement, and that's it.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm going to go as far as even say, I know we're going on a different topic here, but again, I'm even in favor for non-violent felons to get their gun rights back once they've paid their debt to society.
Okay, listen, here's what I think about that.
If you're non-violent, if you've written a bad check and you went to jail for it, okay, and it's on your record, you paid your debt to society, okay, you did your time, and it was a non-violent offense, and you're out, then why should you not get your gun rights?
Yeah, why should that person not be able to defend?
Why should you not be able to defend yourself? Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if you're a violent felon and it's on your record that you're a violent felon and you've abused your wife or you've beaten someone to freaking whatever, to death or whatever, of course you don't get to appeal.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, this is a civil right. So, people have the right to defend themselves, and people in those situations, you come out of prison or whatever if you've done your time, and then you're out there, you're going to start off living in certain places and all that. Why should you lose your right to defend yourself? I'm with that.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have any problem with that at all. I think we should all be able to defend ourselves. I think an armed society is a polite society.
Yeah, so what I'm saying, it's another gun law that should be scrapped. That should be, thrown down the toilet. But
yeah,
what are you going to do?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, so there was some things here we wanted to talk about. Forge from Freedom. Tell us what's going on with Forge from Freedom, man.
Oh yeah, the ambassador thing. Yeah, we just opened up our ambassador. I remember last time we were here a couple weeks ago, we were talking about it, and I was going to open up the ambassador program. That is now open. So if anybody listening wants to become an ambassador,
explain how that works. What is the ambassador program, and what do you need to qualify?
Right. So most ambassador programs with our competition and they send you a free shirt or a couple of free shirts out, and you basically just, I don't know, when you wear them, you take a selfie, put it online, and that's it. We're not going to do that. We're not going to be everybody else. What we want to do is we want to reward people for actually doing stuff. So other than becoming an ambassador for us means that other than just getting free stuff, right, you'll get rewarded for your time and your effort with actual money.
Okay.
Right. So we're going to sign you up through an app that we've got, which is essentially an affiliate program at its core. But I don't want to call it an affiliate program because this is an ambassador program. So it's based on people promoting the brand and telling others, what the brand is about and all that kind of stuff. And and actually getting cash in their pocket every time someone.
Okay. So the person out there who wants to get involved in this, they would have to have some kind of social media following.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here's the thing. Remember, we had this discussion the last time I was here, and I said that I don't care if you have 50 followers or 50,000 followers. This program is more or less for everybody, as long as you are active on social media.
Okay.
Right. So I don't care. You don't have to be like, because I've had people fill in an application and I've seen their thing and it's like, oh, but my following is small. It doesn't matter if your following is small. Right? If you can promote, if you believe in the brand and you want to promote it, good for you. Promote it. You'll get a couple of free shirts out of it, and everybody that clicks on that link and buys something, you're going to get rewarded for it.
Yeah. Okay. So do you have some kind of system set up to help those? If there's people out there that may be watching this and they think, hey, I might be able to make some money, from doing this, pay some bills and stuff like that. Sure. Any advice on how they would go about doing that, especially like you said, if they're starting from zero or have a small following out there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the best thing that you can do, even if you have a small following, is to talk about the brand. Okay, talk to people online, talk to people on social media, talk to your family, talk to your friends, because the best thing is word of mouth. It doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't matter if you have 50 followers. But you got to truly believe in the brand, though. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
If you're passionate about a brand, if you're passionate about something, trust me, that is going to be reflected in the way that you put it forward to people, whether it's online or Facebook.
And everyone starts at zero. which I don't think, I think most people out there are not at zero. So if you're on Facebook, you've at least got some friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Don't let it discourage you, you know?
Yeah.
And this is why I want to do this for, this is why I want to do this for everybody. I want everybody to have a chance at this.
Yeah,
right?
I can tell you, like, everyone starts at zero, including me. I think I'm still I think I'm closer to zero than to 100.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just you get up every day, you put one foot in front of the other. If you do believe in it, if for some reason you've kept track of like Fortune Freedom and you know who Sam is, we're going to try to do some stuff, get Sam to come on here. You see the shirts. If you think, hey, these things are good quality, there's cool designs. If you want to do it from a point of view of the Second Amendment, etc., right?
Yeah, you would be amazed at how much advertising you can do for yourself and or for anybody else's brand by just wearing their stuff, using their stuff. You know what I mean? Like I'll go out and like this repeal NFA shirt I'm wearing, right? Okay. And people will ask me, they're like, what does repeal NFA mean? It's a cool design. I'll be like, I recognize it because it's kind of like the, you know, the Reagan thing.
Yeah.
But tell me what repeal NFA. I'm like, yeah, it's repeal the National Firearms Act. And it's like, oh, cool. All right. I love that shirt. Where can I get it from? Right. And it happens to me all the time.
Okay.
Right?
So this is just going to be for the line of shirts that have to do with the Second Amendment.
Yeah. I'm doing this for basically all the Second Amendment stuff. Well, everything on our website, basically, all our shirts on the website.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if it's shirts under Mac's store or anyone else's store.
Oh, okay. People, yeah. So if you have like a favorite gun guy out there and you like his stuff, you want to get it out to the world, you can get it out to the world, make some money.
Okay. Absolutely. Okay. Get it out to the world. And like I said, use the product. We'll send you, you know, when you're chosen for the program, we're going to send you a bunch of free stuff. The key thing is to wear it, right? That's the best advertising that you can do for yourself.
Okay. Yeah. So the Tyven show, if anyone has any questions on this, let us know. And we've got Sam here. We'll get him to answer those questions. The Tyven show wants to know what's up with the dick butt shirt.
What?
Remember the dick butt shirt the last time?
Yeah, of course. You know, I was looking at that today.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that you're not done with the dick butt shirt yet.
No, I'm not. Remember, we had a conversation earlier, you and I. I put all designs on hold until like mid next week. Because I got to finish with some admin stuff here. And when it comes to designs, I'm very, like, I let my staff do, like, I'm the most kind of, you know, micromanaging guy ever. Okay. But when it comes to designs, like an actual design approval, all that shit has to go through me.
Okay, cool. So there's a couple of questions here that I see coming in. Steadley was talking about all those damn speakers behind you. So, and they're all Marshalls, as a matter of fact. Yeah. And then Steadley says, where are the Yankee Marshall shirts?
Most of them, Yankee Marshall shirts, they're on our site. What do you mean where?
Yeah. So there you go.
Right?
Yeah. I'm assuming they're there. I haven't looked at the site. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah, just make sure they're still there. They're on the site. They're on the site. So if you're a fan of Yankee Marshall, you can get up there and help Yankee Marshall sell shirts. I know his shirts go to charities, right? Different charities he has going on.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff. We do some stuff for his thing. I give to his YouTube channel, to his super chat, quite a lot. Although I haven't given in a short while. I haven't actually watched a lot of his videos, and it's only because I've been busy.
Okay.
But yeah, there's some new things coming on his store.
Okay.
New designs that we're going to be working on very soon here. Like I said, starting from like next week.
Yeah.
And we got some cool Halloween stuff that we're doing.
Okay, cool.
So actually, I might give you guys a preview.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if
you're gonna screen share?
Yeah, I'm gonna screen share. I don't know if what's his name, Gun Channel is gonna be very happy about this, but what the hell? I'll show you, because this is a collaboration with Gun Channels.
G-Webs?
No, not
Oh,
no,
that's a
not you.
different
Gun
thing. Okay.
Charles Instagram.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'll
Oh,
give
I know
you,
who you're talking about. Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
give you a sneak peek. Okay, he's probably going to be mad at me because he hasn't even seen this. But what the hell? All right, hold on. Let me figure out where do I how do I share my screen again?
And while you're trying to figure that out, John Dieter wants to know what's the deal with Fortune Freedom and IV 8888.
Oh,
88.
not this question again.
Yeah. Well, you know, you're going to get this question. So
Nothing's going on. Nothing's going on. It
Yeah.
just
And Lola says that she said no to the dick butt shirt. So I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think she did.
Yeah. But not the patches. We were supposed to do patches. How about that?
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to do those right here. Let me share my screen.
Yeah. And Mystery Family says, how do we sign up? I'm a triple XL, so I'm a big billboard. There you go. Go to Fortune Freedom, right? I think you have it up right now. Glocktober.
Can you see my
cool.
screen?
Yes, I can. Very cool.
Yeah,
That's the new shirt, Glocktober.
We're doing some Halloween stuff. Like there's this is a Wicked Witch that we did from scratch, and
Okay, cool.
she's holding a couple of Glocks.
Yeah, I wish that looked more like Nancy Pelosi or Dianne Feinstein.
It does look like Nancy Pelosi.
uh,
But yeah, we're gonna be doing stuff like this here.
yeah, Jay Brennan says we need the DB shirts.
The what shirts?
The dick butt shirts.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um,
Screen sharing? No, I'm not. Right.
I don't know. Are you still screen sharing? No, you're not. Okay.
Yeah.
Glocktober soon. There you go. That was Red Bear says that witch has a Woody. And Jay Brennan says that's a great shirt.
Clint Sanders says, I've got 4 shirts from Sam a while ago. Thank you very much, Clint.
Yeah.
Thank you for your support. We do really appreciate it.
Yeah. And Opt Out of Gun Control says, or Rick Scott or Pam Bondi. Rick Scott is the Florida governor who is running for Senate, I believe. But he put all these draconian new gun control laws that are going into effect in October.
Yes, isn't that very nice for?
Yeah, that's pretty terrible. And by the way, speaking of October, there's going to be Oktoberfest in Gainesville. Whoever's in Gainesville, I'm going to be hanging out at Oktoberfest on September 29th. If you want to come down and hang out with me and Lola.
Proper beer fest.
Yeah, it's Oktoberfest, and the Audi dealership has it. So
yeah,
so they have it there. I heard it's a really big party, so you can see cars. And there's a big party and everything going on, huh?
It's funny, the original Oktoberfest in Germany, which I've been to, actually happens in September.
Yes, that's when this is, the September 29th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys can check that out. I'm just doing a couple of plugs. By the way, this podcast is brought to you by Osprey Defense. See it right there? Osprey Defense sponsoring the podcasts. And I just want to tell everyone about my friend Josh Coburn.
Oh, yeah. Did you get his book? Is that his book?
Yes. Shit that needs to be said. I'm reading it right now. I'm right at the beginning.
Is it good? Good start?
I'm right at the beginning, so it's a good start. Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Dude, man, this is. I love this guy right here. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a copy of that. I've been following him for. Actually, he was sitting on the same table with me, and we had a little bit of a chat. Very nice, very nice, down to earth.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the best dudes I know. I'm gonna get him to come.
We were at the same table at the NRA at the roundup. You remember the roundup?
Oh, okay, yes, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
So
once I actually read it, then we'll have him come on and talk about it. He's a motivational speaker as well as an author.
You gotta invite me for that one as well. I got to be here.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I need to be here for that one because I like Josh. Few things I'd like to talk to him about. We've had some similar kind of situations in the past. And it'd be cool to chat to him about.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things I like about Barnauls is that this dude works for them, right there. I mean,
say again?
One of the things that I like about Barnauls is that this dude works there.
Yeah, he's a Barnauls guy,
and he's worked there for a long time, by the way. There's a video. It's taking me forever to edit it because I'm like going through and editing other videos. But there's a funny video that him and I did when I was there.
Oh, really?
You guys might get a kick out of it when you know, a lot of times when, especially when it takes so long to edit a video, like I think it's funny, and then people are like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's funny because I actually went to Barnauls in Iowa. It's a great place. It's right off the main highway there. You're driving on the highway and you'll see Barnauls. And there's a store that they have there that if it's open, you can go in the store and buy stuff. And it's a huge warehouse.
Or something. Was it you or somebody else who did like a store tour?
Yeah, I think Patrick R did a tour. I'm kind of doing like a tour, but I'm just doing it way better than Patrick R. So
okay.
Because I am way better.
Yeah.
So, there you go. And then one other little thing I'll show the folks out there. Check this out. What?
Goats and guns thing?
The ATI Mini. That's what it's called. This is a new ATI Mini that's coming out soon. The 50 BMG ATI Mini. That's coming out soon. We're actually going to have Mike from ATI on tomorrow.
I've never seen one of those up close. Are they like all metal or what are they?
Yes, mostly metal. Mostly metal. So it's here. I'll give you, because we actually broke the news on it. So there it goes. It's called a 50 cal.
Oh yeah. I saw something about that.
Yeah, it comes in this box. You get to assemble it. So just to show you, so like the magazine here, if you look at it here, I'll lock it on me for a second so you can see this. So the magazine there, see the release? You can pull that and take it out.
Nice.
You can see the rounds in there.
Nice.
You can put that back in. It's got a carry handle. It's got this. It's got pop-up sights. See that? Iron sights pop up. Even there's one under the optic right there that pops up.
Are they made here, or are they made overseas?
They're made overseas.
Right.
So these are coming out. These are coming out soon, and you know, we're gonna have Mike from ATI. Actually, he's gonna be on tomorrow's show for everyone who's out there.
Cool.
So Jay Brennan wants to know if I open. No, I did not open this one yet. I need to open it and do a video. I need to do a video of it and open it. I hate opening it. Like this one's open. I hate opening. Like for me, I collect stuff, so I like keeping it in the box.
Doing an unboxing and also an assembly video.
Yeah, I need to do that. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow or sometime soon coming up. We'll do that. So you know, there's like so many things, not enough time to do all the things that need to be done. So let's see. I don't know if there were any other questions I missed out on.
What about your plans for the coming up close to the end of the year? You got anything new coming up?
In terms of what, videos and stuff?
Yeah, just generally stuff.
There's a bunch of videos that we're going to be shooting and builds that we have going on and all that kind of stuff. Like I have a 308 that I'm going to be building here that we showed the other day. I don't know if some of the people here in the chat have probably seen this, but the Franklin Armory guys sent me this customized 308. Let's see. Boom. See that logo?
Yeah, that's nice.
That's the new logo right there.
That's nice.
The same logo is what you see right there. Is there. So we're going to be building this and doing a whole bunch of different. I have a bunch of builds and things like that going on. I'm not planning on doing. I already did a lot of traveling this year, to be honest with you, and I haven't been able to recoup from that. So I don't think I'm planning. I know there's some events and things like that I have to do. Like this Saturday, I'm doing an event with Walther at Aries Range in Leesburg. We're doing like a toys for the kids kind of thing. So, and then Lola just came in to remind me that we're also going to be doing something with Gun Prime. I don't know if you guys have heard of Gun Prime. So Lola just came in to remind me of that.
Is the online gun store, aren't they?
Yes, they are. So we're just in discussions with them today. So we're pretty much going to be doing something with them. So here, let me see. I'm going to pull this up because Lola has a really cool deal here that I want to share with you guys from Gun Prime. I'm going to pull it up and share it here in the chat. Let me put it here so you can see it first, Sam.
Yeah, they do some some cool.
Just put that in the chat. I'm going to put it here for everyone as well.
They do some cool deals, don't they?
Yeah, so we're going to be doing, this is actually going to be like a more regular thing that we're going to do here. Right now they have a deal for the Smith & Wesson M2.0 shield and 9mm 3.1-inch barrel, 7+1. Okay. And 8+1 Crimson Trace laser EDC package plus extra mag. You're gonna get all of that for $350. Yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah. So this comes with the everyday carry kit, which is an M&P knife, M&P flashlight, and an M&P soft zipper case, plus an extra mag. So you get 3 mags in total.
Yeah.
You know, for $349, and I just shared that deal. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but you heard about it now.
Yeah, that's a really good deal. And you know, I'm gonna say this, and whoever wants to listen to me, fine. If not, you know, you'll cry later. But the best time to buy a gun is actually now.
Oh yeah, there's some good deals coming out, and we'll continue.
Right now, if the November, the midterms, if they flip the other way, if things flip the other way, there's gonna be panic buying like freaking crazy. All these deals are gonna disappear. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, I think so. I think things could turn around, but this is a really good time for lots of different reasons right now. Lots of companies overbuilt guns, and so there's really good deals out there.
Right.
You know, so if you haven't done things, I'm not trying to make people buy stuff, by the way, but I think if you're in the market for something, there's lots of good opportunities now and coming up. As Sam says, if all of this, if the politics, if the pendulum swings to the other side, and these folks have really been pushing that pendulum back the other way. So
yeah, if it swings the other way in November, all these deals are going to disappear, and it's going to go back to, you know. And I'm talking, you know, I'm saying this because I'm seeing it from, well, I see things from gun distributor level, right? Yeah, because I work with distributors, and I'm telling you right now, they're, you know. It's the general consensus is that if things flip, it's going to be just like what happened with the presidential election. The very next day, these deals are going to disappear, and there's going to be panic buying, and we're back to the same shit that we had with Obama.
That's possible. That's very possible. And by the way, that deal is also up on Facebook for anyone who's looking. If you can't see it here, it's on Facebook. We can't actually put these kinds of links in the video, so. There you go. But it's on Facebook, or you can hit me up and I'll send you the link. We'll put it up on some other social media as well, and I'll talk about it more. Let's see. Opt Out of Gun Control wants to know if I'm bringing that 50 to Aries this weekend. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
So he says, are you bringing me my 50? No. I don't think so. Let's see. Flopping Garbage says, Sam, can I get the Freedom is coming in long sleeve?
You know, that's a good shout. We don't have it listed as long sleeve, and we have to do it for, you know, we have to do it for the winter at least, because people are going to want more and more long sleeve stuff. So I'll make a note of that and actually get it changed.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me.
And Roll Call 219 says, does Forge from Freedom do only big YouTube channel shirts, or can they do small channel shirts?
Yeah, we were talking about this the last time. You know, I'm reluctant, not reluctant. It's just that I don't know if the best way to go about it is to give everybody space on my website. What I could do is I could put your stuff, like, you know, I could probably talk with people to put their stuff on my website, where others can purchase it. But I don't know if I can give you a dedicated store, because it's a different story. You know what I mean? But you know, hit me up, send me an email, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, there you go. You can always send Sam an email, have a conversation with him. Opt Out of Gun Control says he won one of those, which I think that is true. He won one, but you know, we're gonna get that to you when it comes out. These are pre-release, so you're not getting mine. That's all I can say. Yeah,
I gotta buy one. I gotta buy one of those.
Yeah, they're gonna be on Big Daddy Unlimited, so yeah, I think that Babyface set up something there. So
yeah,
he set up something so you can get notified when they come out. They're about to come out soon. So tomorrow when Mike is here, he will shed more light on that situation.
Yeah.
So let's put it that way. Then let's see if there's any other news. Is there any other things going on that you wanted to talk about?
No, not much, man. That's it. You know, like I said, go sign up for for our ambassador program. It's right there on our website on the main page. You can't miss it. Big ass banner.
Yeah.
Follow us on Instagram. It's at Forge from Freedom. Facebook, all that kind of stuff. You know. Yeah, just looking forward to the both looking forwards and dreading the fourth quarter.
Oh, okay.
I like the fact that it's the busiest time of the year, but then by end of November, like beginning of December, I'm like, I just want to go on vacation. I'm done.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the ramp up is coming, man. All the way up to even through SHOT Show is going to be crazy.
Right. Yeah. I might make it. Oh no, I can't. No, I was thinking of going to SHOT Show, but I remembered I can't make it out even this year. Are you going this year?
In January, I think, yes, I should be at SHOT Show. I think the next big thing that I'm going to do is when is it? At some point is the SEMA show, which I'm going to.
Yeah. I'm probably not going to be able to make it, man. I'm going to Yukon, Canada.
Okay.
For a crazy 7-day wilderness expedition.
Okay.
On frozen lakes and mountains and
sounds like fun. Yeah, man.
Crap like that. You know, we're going on an expedition led by probably the best landscape photographer in the world. And yeah, so it's impossible to get a place on that expedition. I got lucky, so I'm gonna have to give SHOT Show a miss.
Oh, okay. All right. I understand. You know, we'll be there. We'll probably put out a couple of things. You know, I'm not sure if Lola's going to be there, but I hope so.
Yeah.
Let's see. Lola. Predictions for cool introductions at SHOT Show.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know what's coming out from the big guys that's going to be cool. I mean, there probably will be something, I'm sure. I'd
like to see more cool revolvers. I'd like to see more hammer fired stuff. You know what I mean? More cool hammer fired stuff. Otherwise, what else can you do? I mean, I'm not trying to sound like boring or, you know, anything like that, but how much else can you innovate? You know what I mean? With a handgun, maybe with a rifle a bit more. You got more space still for innovation, but with handguns, man, it's like, you know, what else can you do?
Yeah, I don't, and really when it comes to the big companies, I don't know, I don't see tons of innovation either. I always look forward to the small companies that are coming up with things, but what happens is the reason why they take the risk on that is bigger companies don't think that they're gonna make the big sale, so they don't do it.
Yeah, I mean,
so
how much can you improve on this design? Right?
Yeah.
How much can you improve on this design?
Nice carbine. What is that? Is that a P320?
That's that's actually a Gen 1. That's a Gen 1 P320. It's you know.
Yeah, so did you get that because it has its own chassis inside and it can go in other guns and all that? Did you get it for that reason?
Yeah, I mean, I swapped. This is, I don't know if you can tell from the color of the light's not great, but that's actually the green, okay, the ODG, which they don't make anymore, and this color with the FD upper, well, slide. But what I'm trying to say is that, you know, and I've got my own what's it called, the trigger. What are they called? I've got brain. Freaking
Angst. Who makes the triggers? And not Angstead.
What are they called? I forget. But anyway.
Yeah, I don't modify my triggers on stuff too often. I do modify triggers, but not on what I'm going to actually use.
I mean, this is only the trigger face here. You know, it's just only the trigger here. There's no modification internally to it. But I prefer a flat face trigger. But my point is, how much more can you improve on this design?
No, I think you should just get like that's a chassis and you can drop it into stuff. I would like to see a carbine that you can drop that into, which I know people are working on.
For that matter, how much can you improve on the Gen 4, Gen 5? You know what I mean? But like I said, I'd like to see more revolvers. I'd like to see more, more hammer.
I want to see a Glock bullpup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just saying some ridiculous stuff that's never going to happen.
Yeah. I think Glock could probably just take a I don't know, the shittiest bullpup and just put the name, just stamp the name Glock on it, and they'll still outsell everybody else.
I'll buy one just because it has it on there. I have a friend who has what I didn't know it was called this, but it's called the China doll. So my friend Jesse James, he's the real Jesse James because that's his name, Jesse James. But he has a Magpul AR, an AR that actually the receiver has a stamped Magpul. For that brief period of time when Magpul made those, very short, very incredibly brief period of time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I guess it's called like the China doll. I've got pictures on my Instagram for anyone who's interested. I'm trying to do a video with him before he gets out of town. I don't know. I got to figure all that out.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, E-Rock says Toyota Supra is making a big 2019 comeback.
Oh, yeah. Did you see that?
Yeah, I've been looking at it. Listen, I'm a huge fan of the old school Toyota Supras, but I don't know what's going to happen here. I know that they developed it with BMW, so the BMW is out, and that's a convertible, and the Supra is going to be a coupe, but that's not out because I think part of that deal they're going to let BMW go first. So probably we'll hear about the Supra sometime next year.
Yeah.
So there's definitely people have seen like the prototypes and stuff like that driving around.
Yeah, the Supra is one of my all-time favorite cars. I'd love to make a comeback, but only if they do it properly. You know what I mean? And not just stick a badge on any old Toyota. But yeah, exciting stuff. We should do a show sometime where we just talk cars.
I think so, man. I love cars. I'm deep into cars.
Yeah, we need to maybe do an hour show, just an hour long one where we just talk cars.
Yeah, if someone's going to come out about me sexually harassing them, it's going to be a car. Just look at that right now. That's going to happen. I'm sure some car will be out there.
Don't go to jail in Texas for that kind of shit.
Oh, really? I believe it. I believe that could happen in Texas. Also, by the way, coming out soon. Corvette, mid-engine Corvette. I don't know. Some people hate that. I like it. Looks interesting. It's gonna be sexy.
Yeah, I didn't see much about that. New Corvette?
Oh, yeah, the C8 Corvette is coming out with a C8. It's going to be mid-engine. That's already driving around. It's still in prototype and has all that crazy camo over it.
Are they finally learning their lesson? They're finally going mid-engine?
It's happening. That's coming out. So sometime next year as well. I don't know how powerful it's going to be. I think
the only company that can defy physics when it comes to this kind of thing is Porsche.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how they've managed to, put that engine in the back and make it work. You know what I mean? But it works, man.
Yeah, I prefer all-wheel drive. So yeah, I know like mid-engine's cool. The R8's mid-engine, and I'm enjoying it. And they made a rear-wheel drive only version that I think in the whole world they're making like $999, and they brought 300 to America. And I actually saw those, and those are cheaper and everything. But
they sold out already.
There was one at my dealership. It sold already.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that one I saw was black. I've seen a lot of them. It's like black with a red stripe. A lot of them are white with the red stripe. Mm-hmm. So those, and I think that on Audi's side, which is a parent company to Volkswagen and therefore Porsche and all that kind of stuff,
right.
I think they're not going to make. I don't think they're going to make the R8 anymore, or they're definitely not doing V10 versions of it anymore. So who knows what's going to happen with that? Yeah, next year they won't be an R8. They skip. They don't put out an R8 every year. So they usually skip years.
Yeah, they do every 2 years. But the V10 has been like their best seller so far.
Yeah. Tactical Toolbox says he's all about the Nissan GTR. I'm feeling the GTR is cool, man. Godzilla.
Yeah, the R34 is probably my all-time up close, very neck and neck with the Supra, but probably I had to choose one, it would be the R34.
Oh, what I mean? Okay, yeah.
Ultimate Japanese car.
Yeah, I think you can just now legally bring in those that have the steering wheel on the wrong side.
Right. Yeah.
Those are really cool. Yeah, those are really cool. I think the Supra is sexier in looks, but the old school GTR is classic. The new GTR is really nice, and there's a Italian body styled one that's out that's like $1 million.
Yeah.
That looks really badass.
Yeah. I drove an R34 in the UK, and within 30 seconds, I knew that was just the ultimate car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, at least, that was just the ultimate street car.
Yeah. Jafari H says the Fast and Furious, the Supra in that was so fly. Yeah, Supras are really beautiful. I just like the way they look. And then Rabbit0317 says the vet is trying to catch the Ford GT on the track. The new Ford GT is badassery.
Yeah, the new Ford GT looks so awesome. So awesome. Yeah.
Good luck. It's not easy to get your hands on any of those out there. So the Nissan GTR is cool, man. Nissan GTR is pretty cool.
Yeah, and you see, that's the one thing that I also love about about the car world. It's just things are continue to evolve, and there's so much innovation happening.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, look, it all starts. Most of this stuff, especially for supercars, a lot of people probably don't realize, but it all starts on the racetrack. It all starts with Formula One.
Yeah.
Right.
So let me ask you this. Go ahead.
Someone would create something, and then it'll trickle, and it'll end up on the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely. So let me ask you this, because we're kind of like going down the car tangent a little bit here in what time we have. Psycho316 says import Skylines. Skylines are, yeah.
Yeah.
So would you, and under what circumstances would you get an electric car?
Would I get an electric car? I wouldn't mind a Tesla.
What Tesla?
What's it called, man? The
Model X, Model D.
Hold on, let me tell you. I don't know the names of the things. No, the Model S.
There's no Tesla that's out that I like right now.
I would probably get the Model S, the 2018 S.
Okay. Why?
Have you seen how freaking quick it is off the thing? Like, it's quicker than your R8. I'll tell you right now. 0 to 100.
I'm sure.
Like,
yeah.
0 to 100, there's nothing.
But they don't look interesting to me. They don't look interesting.
I mean,
I don't like how they look. Like, that's a huge part of it for me, man. It cannot just be that it's electric. And I get it that, in some cases it's faster and all of that, but it's just not, the full sexiness is not there. And when are you, I don't think that a fake engine sound is going to do any good for me. I want the real engine sound.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Of course, your question is not based, it does not involve any politics attached to it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking just purely the car. Purely the car, I wouldn't mind a Model S, probably as a second car. You know what I mean? Not for my everyday drive, but I mean, it's not ugly. It's not an ugly car. I think the interior could be a little bit better quality, because I've been in one, right? The leather doesn't feel nowhere near as nice as my Range Rover or anything like that. But I mean, they're quick, they're fast cars, man. They're really fast. But you're right. I mean, I agree about the pure sound of the engine and the smell of the the fumes coming out of it.
It's just like, why? It's just one of the things about guns that's so relaxing.
Yeah, exactly.
I want the boom. Listen, I like suppressors, but there's the whole thing that goes along with it. Yeah.
Yeah, the internal combustion engine is great, but at the same time, it's inevitably, whether we like it or not, and I don't like it. I'm not happy about this, but inevitably, it's going to become a dead dinosaur, because in the future, we're not going to have endless resource fuel, right? Raw thingy, unless we invent, an internal combustion engine that can run on water or whatever, or any other material.
But yeah, we need to come up with better ways to generate electricity, because we don't have those.
Right, I agree.
And people are not down with nuclear power plants everywhere. You know, I'm not against it in principle. Like it's going to have to move me, you know, in order for me to be down with it. And I have seen a few things that I think that are cool out there. Let's see. Tactical Toolbox says he loves all cars. Not much of a brand whore. I'm not a brand whore either. And Dan Davis says the Nissan Titan with the Cummins in it. Nissan Titans look really badass now, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
Nissan is killing it.
Yeah, they look good. I don't like the older ones because of the engine just freaking. It's a stupid engine. I don't like it. It just drinks too much and it's no good. But the new ones look cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Every time I drive past a Nissan dealership now and I see those Titans out there, I'm like, damn. They look like monster trucks sitting out there, and they haven't even really done anything with them, and they just look like what? They're pretty sexy. So yeah, I agree with that. Mutiny for the Cat says, I just bought several shirts from Forge from Freedom. Who needs a girlfriend when you have an AK? Love the company. Man, keep doing what you're doing. So, and then there's a whole bunch of comments about the electric cars and things like that. Some people like it, you know, ludicrous speed. I think that one of my neighbors here where we have the studios, he has this British dude, really cool guy. He looks like a rock star, but he's some kind of like medical genius.
Right.
And he's got a Model S, I believe.
Maybe
the one, huh?
Maybe he's Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe he's Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about new cars and stuff. I got to go car shopping soon again.
Okay. What are you getting?
For my wife. You know the Volkswagen scandal with the whole diesel engine and all that kind of stuff. The emission scandal. We've got one of those cars.
Oh, okay. So they're buying it back from you?
They are buying it back, and I couldn't believe the offer they made. They're buying it back for what we paid for it 4 years ago.
Yeah, lots of people have got. I know several people that got those deals.
We're getting the car basically. We had the car for 4 years, basically for free. You know, so that,
are you going to get another Volkswagen or?
We don't know yet. We're thinking either this is for my wife mainly, so we're thinking maybe another Volkswagen or maybe a Toyota 4Runner.
Okay, I've got a 4Runner.
Yeah. So,
they pretty much don't change the 4Runners. I mean, and those are made in Japan. The other Toyota trucks are made here in America, but those are made in Japan. They haven't changed them that much. If you like electric, man, there's going to be a bunch of cars coming out next year. If you really got to have electric, and you don't have to go with Tesla to find for example, Audi just announced that they're coming out with the e-tron, which is a crossover.
Yeah,
and it's all electric, and it has all the interior, the seats and electronics and everything is the same thing that's going to be in the new A8, the sedan, the limo. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I might look into that. I don't know if my wife is ready for electric and all that kind of stuff. She's kind of a traditional gal, but you know, I got to go do car shopping again, and I really don't like to do car shopping. I like to do car shopping online. I like to look at cars and prices and all that, but I freaking hate going to dealerships and having to deal with car salesmen. You know?
Yeah, that is a pain. That is a pain.
That really is.
Yeah. And then I don't know if you're like me and Lola. It's always a thing if we ever try to do that because it frustrates the living daylights out of Lola. I always know exactly what I want.
Yeah.
Lola knows what she's willing to pay.
But that's the reason why Carvana. You know Carvana?
Yes, I've heard of it.
Yeah, Carvana, where you can just buy the car online and they get it delivered to your house.
They deliver to you. Yeah, or you can go to that vending machine.
Yeah, we got one right here in Dallas.
Oh, yeah, that would be. Please do that and make a video. I want to see you get your car out of a vending machine.
Got one right here, dude. I'm gonna go and do it. I'm gonna go. You can just turn up and just pay for the car, and there's no salesman or anything like that. And they're doing great. They really are doing great because they found a gap in the market where people just don't want to deal with car sales. You know?
Yeah. I think so, man. They're terrible. One last thing on cars. Is it? Let me see. I'm gonna look it up real quick before I say this. Is it the Suzuki Jimny? I don't think they're making it in America. Let me see.
Or Jimmy, whatever it's called.
I think it's Jimny. Yeah, Jimny. Oh man, the new one looks really cool. If you're into 4x4s.
I'm pretty sure I've seen one here. I mean, they're all over in Europe. There's a lot of them in Europe, but
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to be coming to America, but I've seen the Jimneys lately, and they're not expensive. It's a Suzuki, but they look cool. So yeah, I think who likes the dealership experience out there? James Lawson says hate the whole dealership experience. That's something we can definitely change going into the future. No more dealerships.
Yeah, it looks a little bit like a mini G-Wagon, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Especially the back.
Yeah,
I like that. Pretty cool.
Yeah, you should check those out. Those are going to be cool. Then Jafari's saying there's a new Ford Bronco that's coming out. The new Jeep truck is coming out. The pickup truck.
Go for a couple of years. I don't know if it's ever going to make it to production.
Yeah, I think it is coming out. They were supposed to do diesel, but I don't know how the diesel thing's going to be.
Yeah.
So because the whole Chrysler, the FCA, they want to go electric also, like everyone else. So we'll see.
Right. Yeah. That's the thing. I think diesel has been largely ignored by this country, which is a shame because I'll tell you right now, I've owned a couple of modern diesel European cars in Europe, and they've been the best cars I've ever had. But point is, I think this country is skipping the whole diesel thing, and they're just going to go straight to electric.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily the best idea to go straight electric.
No, that's what I'm saying. I wish diesel had,
I think we should do compressed natural gas and things like that, man. We have a lot of compressed natural gas here.
I had a natural gas car.
How was it?
Oh, amazing. Absolutely amazing. And really because there was nothing coming out of the exhaust, right? Like the burn is like almost 100%. You know what I'm saying? And it's like being on turbo all the time because it just burns a lot cleaner and a lot better,
Yeah,
but
you can convert any car that exists now, combustion engine car, to run on propane and all that. Absolutely, but no one wants to do it. It's at least from my research, it's 50% cleaner than regular combustion engine.
Yeah, absolutely, it's clean and it's better for your engine. Actually, it's better for the lifetime of the engine.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that in Europe, like most cars in Europe are now turbo diesel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like 5th or 6th generation turbo diesel engines, and they're amazing. Like you wouldn't know it's a diesel if you wouldn't. It doesn't sound like a diesel, doesn't smell like a diesel, and it's got much more torque than a standard engine. And it's just a shame that this country never adopted that kind of thing.
Politics, man. We can get all back into that, but we should probably end it. It's been great. Whenever I talk to you, man, time goes by real fast.
I know, right? I know. Yeah, I gotta go downstairs before my wife.
So before we get out, just tell the folks out there real quick where you want them to go. Remind them again about the brand ambassador program.
Yeah, so our brand ambassador program. Go over to our website. It's right there on the main page. There's a banner. You can't miss it. Click on the banner. It's going to bring you to a form. Fill out the form. It's very quick. Put in the form as much information as you can, and you'll hear from us within like 5 business days.
All right, very cool. And then you can check out Forge from Freedom. You guys are on Facebook, Instagram.
Look out for some really cool new stuff that's coming out.
Yeah, and what the hell's up with the Salt Lake City hat? I'm not against Salt Lake City, but I noticed you rock this hat all. I said, what's up with the Salt Lake City? Yeah.
It's my favorite hat, man. It's my favorite hat. This.
Oh, okay, yeah. Someone was asking me about that. Like, what's up with the hat?
Yeah, someone on this very prominent Instagram guy that is based near Salt Lake City. I don't want to name him right now. Gave me this.
Oh, okay.
This as well. It's like a little clip.
Okay, is it the late Boy Scout?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Somebody else.
Is it nothing fancy?
No, it's not. It's not nothing fancy.
Okay.
He just doesn't want me to say who it is. But anyway.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right.
Yeah,
fine.
That sentimental thing to me. I really like it. That day was a very good day in Salt Lake City, and I liked the hat, so he just gave it to me.
Okay, cool. All right. So we won't push it any further. All right. I want to thank everyone for joining us. Thank all the people that support us, like ATI Outdoors. Mike from ATI Outdoors is going to be here tomorrow. Andrew's Custom Leather.
Nice.
Also, Boom! Right there, Fort Scott Munitions. Of course. And Safety Harbor Firearms. Thank all those people that sponsor us. If you want to be our patron on Patreon, it's /HankStrange on there. Thanks a lot for that. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much for Sam for coming out tonight and spending time with us.
Thank you so much. I'm just thanking people in the chat right now.
Absolutely. And don't forget about our deal of the day, guys. You can go find it on Facebook or hit me up on social media or anywhere else that you're able to get in touch with me, and I'll send you a link for that. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We're out of here. Peace.